Welcome to a new episode of Learn English with Story, where powerful stories help you speak English with confidence. Make sure to subscribe and turn on the bell so you never miss a new episode. Grab your headphones, relax, and let's dive into today's journey in English.
Hi, I'm Natalie. I was 28 when I decided to move to South Korea to teach English. It wasn't part of some big career plan or lifelong dream. Honestly, it felt more like I was running away. I had just broken off my engagement. We'd been together 5 years. There was a wedding date, furniture, paint colors picked for our future home. Then, one morning, I woke up and thought, I don't want any of this. So I ended it. Suddenly, I had no wedding, no plans, no job I had to stick to, and no reason to stay in Vancouver. And then I saw a job posting online. Teaching English in South Korea. Housing included, visa sorted, decent salary. And I thought, why not? Maybe I could start over. Maybe I could disappear for a while and remember who I was. 2 months later, I was on a plane to Daegu. Just me, 2 suitcases, a backpack full of books, and absolutely no idea what I was getting into. The flight was long, really long. By the time I landed, it was already dark outside. I stepped off the plane, dragging my suitcase, and instantly felt out of place. Everything felt foreign, not in a postcard way, more like everyone here knows what they're doing, and I definitely don't. I followed the signs to the exit and saw a man holding a paper that said Natalie in neat handwriting. He gave a tiny bow and motioned me toward the car. The drive to my apartment was quiet. No skyscrapers, no neon lights. Just trees, soft street lamps, and sleepy roads. My apartment was a small studio, clean but bare. I walked in, dropped my bags, and sat on the edge of the bed. I made it, I whispered. But instead of feeling excited, I felt alone, like really alone. I tried to call my mom, but the Wi-Fi barely worked. I checked Facebook, nothing new. I looked around. Everything was still, too still. That night, lying in bed, staring at the ceiling, I whispered, "Okay, now what?" By the end of my first week, I started writing letters. Not to friends, not to family, to myself. I called them, Dear Future Natalie, if you're reading this, you made it. At first, they were short. Day 4, people keep staring at me on the bus. I think I smell weird, or maybe just foreign. But soon, they got longer. Day 7, I offered chocolate milk to one of my students. She looked at it like I handed her poison. Those letters became my survival tool. Every night, I typed whatever I felt: confused, embarrassed, curious, overwhelmed. Some nights, I cried while writing. Other nights, I laughed at myself so hard I snorted. But writing those letters made me feel seen, even when real life made me feel invisible. Teaching wasn't easy. My students were sweet, but so quiet. They never asked questions. They'd just stare at me, blankly. I'd ask, "Do you understand?" And they'd nod politely, even if they didn't. I taught kids between 6 and 12 years old. Some days I felt like a rock star. Other days, it was like I was speaking into a void. The Korean teachers were kind but distant. They'd chat with each other in Korean in the staff room. If I walked in, they'd smile, but then go right back to speaking Korean. Sometimes I sat alone at lunch, eating noodles I barely knew how to cook, listening to laughter I couldn't understand. I missed just talking. I missed being understood. I missed belonging. Then winter hit, hard. One day it was chilly, the next it was freezing. My coat wasn't warm enough. My fingers ached on the way to school. My nose wouldn't stop running. I stopped going out on weekends. I stayed in, watching Netflix, eating instant ramen. One Sunday afternoon, I was lying in bed, scrolling through Instagram. All my friends were getting married, buying houses, traveling, and I was eating noodles, alone, wondering if I'd made the biggest mistake of my life. That night, I wrote, "Dear future Natalie, today was bad, like really bad. I miss my dog. I miss my sister. I miss knowing what people are saying, but I'll try again tomorrow." One morning, I was grading papers in the staff room when Mrs. Kim came in. She was older, maybe late 50s, always wore cozy cardigans, always smelled like green tea. She looked at me kindly and said, "You eat lunch today?" I shrugged. "Not yet." She reached into her bag and handed me a container. "Kimchi stew," she said. "Eat. You look hungry." I blinked. "Are you sure?" She smiled. "Yes." It was spicy. It was amazing. It was the first warm meal I'd had in days. We ate side by side. She asked me about Canada. I asked about her family. She had 3 sons and a baby granddaughter. Before leaving, she said, "You come to my house for dinner?" I didn't say yes right away, but later that week, I did. Dinner at Mrs. Kim's was overwhelming. 8 people, one big table. Her husband, her son, his wife, their baby, her sister, me. Everyone talked so fast, I barely followed a word. But they just kept piling food on my plate. Rice, soups, grilled fish, kimchi, noodles. Mrs. Kim's granddaughter asked, "Can I see your dog?" I smiled. "Sure." I showed her pictures of Max, my golden retriever. She giggled. Cute. Her uncle asked where I lived. I tried to answer in Korean. He laughed and helped me fix the sentence. Even though I didn't understand everything, I felt welcome. That night, as I walked home, I cried. But this time, it felt good. Things didn't magically get better. I still felt lost. I still missed home. But little by little, things changed. I started learning Korean phrases. I practiced at the convenience store. I ordered lunch by myself and actually got what I ordered. I played songs in class, Taylor Swift, BTS, Disney music. The kids opened up. One boy loved Spider-Man. One girl drew a picture of me with sparkles in my hair. And I smiled more, not because everything was okay, but because I was learning how to be okay. By spring, I had a routine. I joined a gym. I made friends, other expats, even a Korean hiking group. I explored temples, tried street food. I laughed again. My letters changed. Dear future Natalie, today I taught an entire class using mostly Korean. The kids understood me, and I understood them. As the school year ended, I opened the letters from my first month. I laughed. I thought kimchi was trying to kill me. I thought no one would ever talk to me. I thought I'd never feel normal again. But I also felt proud, because I made it. On my last day, my students gave me cards, drawings, stick figures, smiley faces, messages like, "Teacher Natalie, thank you for teaching me. Come back soon. You are funny, you are kind." Mrs. Kim handed me a scarf she knit herself. "For Canada," she said. "Keep warm." And Reem, the English teacher I barely talked to at first, she took me to dinner. "You grew a lot," she said. "You did good." I smiled. "Thanks, I think I did." Back in Canada, I unpacked slowly. I put the scarf in a drawer. I hung a photo of my students on my wall. I kept the letters in a journal. One morning, drinking coffee, I found the final one. "Dear future Natalie, if you're reading this, you're home now. You probably miss kimchi stew and the sound of laughter in a language you once feared. I hope you remember how brave you were. You didn't just survive Korea. You grew. You belonged. And you will keep growing. Love, past Natalie."
Thanks for listening to this episode of Learn English with Story. Let us know your favorite part in the comments. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share to keep learning with us. See you in the next story.